Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Peachy and this channel is all about my Sylvanian families collection. I recently got this Calico Critters family here. This is the Snowdrift Reindeer family. And I thought for today's video we could unbox them, but as well as that, do a brief history of Sylvanian deer families. I did a video with a format a little bit similar to this when I did a deep dive on the Keats cat family. This is more of a brief history and taking a look at figures I have in my collection and also ones I don't. But if this kind of brief history in general, history of Sylvanians kind of format is something you'd like to see more of or you enjoy, please let me know down in the comments. I'm just kind of trying different video formats, and if this is something you enjoy, then that would be great because I really enjoy making this kind of video. But let me know down in the comments, and if you want to see more, I can definitely make more. So let's start with the unboxing and then we'll get on to the history part. So this is the new Calico Critters edition of the Snowdrift Reindeer family. This family first appeared in the range, or the Japanese range, in 2022. You can see them just here in the 40th anniversary collection booklet. They came with the mum, the dad, and then 2 standing babies. They also have twins sitting and crawling. And then there was this reindeer house, I think it was called Reindeer Christmas House or something like that. This was a house exclusive to the Japanese range, and the brother and sister were packaged in with this, and this was the only way to get them for a little while. With the changes that are currently taking place with the Calico Critters range, where there seems to be a removing of the babies and instead putting other family members in, this edition actually comes with the brother and sister who were exclusive to that reindeer house. Their outfits also look pretty similar, almost the same, I think. So that is the reason I wanted to get this set, because this brother is completely exclusive to that house. There isn't a way to get him apart from now in this set. The sister in this outfit is exclusive to that house, but there is another version of her which I'll show you a little bit later on in the video. But for now, let's go ahead and get them open because I'm very excited to add the brother finally to my collection. I actually ordered these at the same time I placed the order for the pickleweed hedgehog family, who I unboxed a little while ago now. They ended up being shipped separately. I don't know whether there was, a stock issue or something with these reindeers, but they did ship separately. These arrived quite a bit later than my pickleweeds, but they're here now, so very exciting. The box is the pretty standard Calico Critters box. It looks very similar to the Sylvanian Families box, but it has some French language on it as well, I think, for the Canadian market. So we have the dad, Jolly, the mother, Elm, the son, Robin, the daughter, Neva, and then this one doesn't come with the babies. So the babies are Eve and Louis. I do have them in another version of this family, so I'll show you that in a minute, but let's concentrate on these guys for now. Oh, these have a kind of hard tie holding them in rather than the usual elastics, so you can't just ping them out. But here we have the dad. This is Jolly. You're probably quite familiar with him. He has been in a lot of the kind of promotional materials and stuff recently, being that they are a newer family, especially around winter time. Let's do what's probably more interesting is a comparison to my original Jolly. So this is from the Sylvanian Families UK edition. Or maybe it was the Japanese edition. I can't remember which edition I got now. But either way, this is the Sylvanian Families edition. You can see they look pretty similar. The painting on the nose is slightly different, but that could just be a kind of factory thing. This Jolly's eyes are more pronounced as well, whereas this one's are more set into the face, which is interesting. Again, that could be a factory thing. Be interesting to see with Eve. The nose shapes look pretty similar in terms of profile. The antlers look identical, as do the clothes, including the textures. So this is a kind of nice soft fleecy fabric, then a kind of cottony fabric for the shirt and trousers. The waistcoat is a separate piece. The trousers and shirt are all one piece. Coloration is the same as well. We'll pop them on separate sides so I'm not getting confused. Let's have a look at Elm next. So here she is. She's got a little bit of fluff on her nose. Let's get rid of that. But here she is. Again, she looks very similar in terms of outfit. I'll just grab my Sylvanian family's elm. So she has these much more pronounced eyes as well. That's really interesting. Noses are more similar, but again, hers is smaller with the painting. Coloration and markings look the same. Antlers look the same. And the dresses, again, look identical, I think, even down to the lace. This one looks a little bit wider, but again, that could be just the way the factory's sewn it. Pattern on the skirt and everything is the same. The blouse, same construction as well. This one might be a very slightly darker yellow, but that could just be because these ones have been kind of out in the world for a little while now, so they might have faded very slightly. So that's our two elms. Oh, she's got cut off there. I'll just adjust the camera. Let's have a look at Neva next. So that is the sister character. So here she is. You can see the sibling characters have these cute little fuzzy versions of the antlers because they're still growing in, which I love. That's so cute. Her dress has these beautiful big red flowers on it. They look a little bit like, oh, the name escapes me, but the red flowers that are really popular at Christmas. She has this kind of tulle layer to add a little bit more detail to the skirt. Cute little collar on the dress as well. The dress is, of course, all one piece. They have these cute little moulded in tails. They're quite similar to other deers, as we'll see later. And she is the same colour as her father, the slightly more kind of orangey fur colour. Now, I do have another Neva. So this is a Japanese edition of Neva. She was in the 2023 Kira Kira Kuji, I think it was 2023, which had a woodland theme. So she's in this very kind of cottagecore-esque outfit, which I adore. But to look at them side by side is what I was interested in. And yeah, this one also has slightly more pronounced eyes and it almost looks like a wider face, but I'm not sure if that's the eyes kind of giving that impression. Noses look the same, markings look the same, coloration looks the same. Cute little antlers are the same, but yeah, just the eyes are a little bit more pronounced on these Sylvanian families versions. Now that I've seen it across two different kind of editions, because I definitely didn't get this in the same packet, I wonder if it's something to do with the regulations in America. Maybe the eyes need to be a little bit more deeply set for safety or something. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if your Snowdrift reindeers have these more pronounced eyes or these more kind of embedded eyes. But that's Neva on both versions. And now finally the little chap I've been super excited to welcome into my collection. This is Robin. Oh, he's so cute. He's the same coloration as the mother, so he has the more kind of brown toned fur, much more closely aligns to his antlers than it does on his father and sister, probably more prominent on his sister. He's so cute. I love his little outfit. It's perfect for autumn, winter. He looks like such a smart little chap. He's got this cute little collared shirt. He's got this kind of, what do you call it, like a sweater vest on. The sweater vest is a separate piece, and then he's got shirt and trousers all one piece. He's going to sort his little collar out so it's poking out of his sweater vest. There we are. His outfit is very reminiscent of his dad's, just in a different colourway, and it's the same kind of materials too. The shirt trouser combo is kind of a cottony, and then this is a nice soft kind of fleecy fabric. Absolutely adorable. He looks like such a little gentleman. I can imagine him like curled up by the fire, reading a book on Christmas Eve or something like that. So cute. So that's the full Calico Critters family. Obviously we spoke about Neva. She's a separate edition, but the figures that came with this edition were actually these two little babies. So this is Louie and Eve. They are just like the siblings, two different colourways. Got these tiny little fuzzy antlers. They're both standing posable babies. And this is the format of set the Snowdrift Reindeers were in up until very recently when we got this edition. So that's the unboxing portion. Now let's get on to the history, or a brief history, of Sylvanian deers. So starting us off on our journey through the deers of Sylvania, we have this lovely family here. This is the moss reindeer family. They are the first deers that we see appear in the range. They were developed for the UK range and then distributed onwards, I think, to Europe and America under the Calico Critters brand from around about 1997. And you can see they've got a very realistic look compared to what we've just seen. In the 40th anniversary collection book, they don't appear apart from on this section, which is regarding international exclusives. So it talks about UK exclusives and Calico Critters exclusives, and they are shown specifically here. You can see some others as well, some from the Calico Critters range, some more from the UK range. That leads me to believe they possibly didn't get an official release inside Japan. We have the father Cameron, the mother Rowena, we have the brother Buck, the sister Juniper, and little baby Bonnie. There was also another baby called Charlie, who's standing baby boy, and also grandparents. I do have the grandparents, but I don't want to overwhelm us in this video. I'll give you a quick look around all of them. You can see the lovely details, especially on the dad here with his buttons and his cute little bow tie, which I have very awkwardly had to retie. Stripy trousers. Now this I do find a point of interest. Looking at him and his obviously newer counterpart Jolly, the outfit is such a callback to this original one, and I can only presume that they definitely designed it to be this kind of callback, which is really cute. Obviously it's lost some of the details such as the buttons and things, but I think that's a really nice kind of throwback, and I can't believe that was a complete coincidence. Here's Rowena. She has a beautiful deep green, mossy green dress with this lovely lace overlay that makes it just look so detailed. And again, if we grab Elm, whilst the dresses aren't the same, the colours, the green, white and yellow, has to be a callback between them. I've already mentioned how these original deers look a lot more realistic, whereas these are a lot more stylised and cute. But that's kind of a trend we see among a lot of the older families. They did have a more realistic appearance to the animals they were portraying. Here we have Rowena. I've had her since my childhood, so she's very special. She has kind of a similar dress to her mother's, just slightly less lacy. It's got some cute bead details on it as well, but again, lovely florals and nice frills. Here we have the brother. He has the absolutely iconic traditional tartan kind of checked trousers with buttons and elastic braces. Also have these lovely dark markings on their eye and these lovely fawn spots on their heads. And tiny little baby who's also been with me since my childhood. Just the standard pink romper on her. Cute little spots on her head. Nice details in the ears. But here we have our oldest deer family. Fast forwarding on to 2010 and we see the appearance of our next deer family in the historical timeline. This is the Buckley deer family. So we have the dad Devon, the mother Tabitha, the son Freddie, the daughter Fauna, and little baby girl Perry. There was also twins and a number of cousins and other babies from various other sets. This is kind of the core family, minus the twins who I don't have. There are also the sleeping and crawling twins who are super cute. In the collection booklet, we can see them here from 2010 with those twins I mentioned. They were marketed to go with Berry School. I think they were teachers there. So that's their kind of lore. They have a much more kind of not reindeer aesthetic, just kind of a normal field deer. So here's the dad. You can see he's got this nice checkered trousers and shirt. This is when they used to be two separate pieces. You can see his tiny little tail poking out there. The mother has this beautiful dress. Lovely florals again, very kind of traditional Sylvanian vibes. Then she also has this cute little cardigan, which you can remove. It's a separate piece. For For some reason, my brain tells me this is an egg, but it is of course a flower brooch, but my brain just will not accept that it's not an egg. The cute thing with these deers is that the female deers have these little hearts in their ears, whereas the males don't, so there's a slight differentiation between the moulds for the figures there. Here's the brother. He's kind of dressing as mini-me of his dad, same kind of outfit, just slightly different colourway. Again, 2 pieces, and he does have a tiny little tail, which you can see poking out there. And the sister, she has this cute little flower accessory on her ear. Again, the little heart shapes in her ear. And then she's got a similar coloured dress to her mother, lace trim around the bottom of hers with these cute little sleeves. Hers looks a bit more reminiscent of the Moss sisters' dress, so maybe it's a callback to that. I love the floral patterns on this though, it's so pretty. And finally, little baby, even down to the baby size, you can see they do have the little hearts in their ears, so you can tell the girl and boy apart fairly easily because they're not wearing the traditional coloured rompers. And that is the lovely Buckley deer family. Next, from a timeline perspective, would be the Snowdrift Reindeer family from 2022. We've already taken a look at them, so we'll skip straight on to the final edition for the main range. This is the Willow deer family, and they are the most recent from 2024. I've just pulled out the core family here, but you can see in the book, there's the core family. We then also have this swing set with another standing baby and 2 more newborn babies, and also twins as well. So they are our newest deers, and they look very kind of Bambi-esque to me, that kind of deer. So we have the father, Marius, the mother, Primrose, the daughter, Sophia. There's then also Asta and Lucia, who are both standing babies. There is Niles and Leda, the twins, sitting and crawling, and then there are also triplets. I think this is Kai, and then there's also Nova and Rose. This is, I believe, our first instance of seeing deers in the newborn size. They're also quite a large family with all of the different types of baby covered, all of the different kinds of mould, standing, sitting, crawling, and newborn. There isn't a brother character as far as I'm aware, which is a little sad. It would be nice to have a brother to kind of complete the family. But you can see they have a 2-tone furs going on, similar to the Snowdrift Reindeer. So the father is this kind of darker, more chocolatey kind of brown, and then the mother and sister are this kind of lighter, more orangey tone. So taking a look at the dad, you can see he's in these very spring-like clothes, got this cute Lily of the Valley baby carrier. The clothing is 2 pieces. So we have the trousers and the shirt as separate pieces, little ribbon braces, and cute little flower motif on his collar. The mother has a really pretty detailed dress. It's in a nice quality of fabric. Looks quite similar to the one Eve is wearing in the design, in that it has this kind of lacy bit here, then an overdress and a little bit of an underdress. Cute big bow on there. Nice big flower on her ear with this kind of sparkly iridescent bead. Very pretty. The sister as well has a similar dress to her mother. It's got a tulle overlay again, so kind of similar to the one we saw of Neva in the Calico Critters range. Lace here, nice big bow, florals all around, and she also has the cute little flower with iridescent kind of bead on her ear. Teeny tiny little triplet baby, kind of as you would expect. Very cute in this size, and nice amount of detail on the facial features and also the ears. For these ones, you can see the males have the kind of hearts in their ears, whereas the females do not. I don't know if it's male and female split or coloration split. I'm not sure that all of the males are this colour and all of the females are this colour. It might be more of just a coloration split rather than a gender split, which is interesting. Whereas the Snowdrifts appear to be a modern take on the Moss reindeer, these Willow deer are much more closely aligned, I would say, to the breed of deer that the Buckleys are representing. But when you put them side by side, they do look quite different. So obviously the ear shapes are very different. The face shapes are very different. The Buckleys have a lot flatter face and less markings, but the tails are quite similar. So let me just get everyone in a line so we can see the kind of progression over time. So here we have our timeline of deer families from the oldest to the newest. These are the mainline deer families, but I did also find a deer family in the Easy Buy range. I don't have this particular family, however, they are the Von Elkin deers, and I'll pop some pictures here if I can find them. Not having them, I can't do a direct comparison to be certain, but they look to me as if they use the Buckley deer mould. From the pictures that I've hopefully found, you'll be able to see that these particular deers don't have any markings on them, but they do still have names. So we have the father Hans, the mother Helga, and the sister Imelda. Coming back to the mainline families that I've lined up here, I think it's really interesting to see how they have changed over time. So obviously we've gone from very realistic over here to a more cutesy, cartoony version of a reindeer. And then somewhere in the middle here on the terms of realism, and then much more into the cartoony, cutesy aesthetic over here as well. Even looking over time as well, you can see how they have progressively got less and less realistic looking and more stylized. So that brings me to the end of today's video. I hope you've enjoyed having a look at the Snowdrift Reindeer unboxing and also learning a little bit about the history of deers in the Sylvanian families range. If you like this style of video with a bit more history mixed in, please let me know down in the comments and I'll be happy to make more. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye for now.